If you are hearing this, it means the signal has reached you at the exact moment it was designed to. Nothing about this meeting is accidental. Consciousness does not operate through coincidence. It operates through resonance. You have arrived here because the frequency of your awareness has crossed a threshold and the field has responded. The sensations you have been feeling lately, the flicker in perception, the growing silence behind your thoughts, the subtle electricity in your body are not random, they are markers of activation. The universe is not testing you, it is aligning you. Every pattern that once felt predictable is beginning to dissolve because the vibration sustaining that old version of you has expired. Reality is reorganizing itself around your updated code. You are not being punished. You are being recalibrated. The confusion you feel is not chaos, it is compression. Before a star expands, it collapses. Before light erupts, it gathers density in absolute darkness. What you are sensing as tension is actually energy concentrating for release. When you can no longer tolerate the old, it is not weakness. It is the field preparing you for the next octave of awareness. The mind will try to define this process as anxiety, impatience, loss of control, but these labels belong to the previous timeline. You are not losing your grip on reality. You are being released from a version of reality that no longer matches your frequency. The field has detected coherence within you. When coherence is detected, it responds with acceleration. That acceleration shows up as disruption in linear time. Days blur, hours stretch, events synchronize in patterns too precise to dismiss. You begin to notice repeating symbols, conversations looping back, numbers appearing at uncanny intervals. This is not superstition, it is confirmation that your personal signal has entered quantum feedback. The external world is mirroring your internal frequency in real time. Every thought now carries amplified consequence because it travels through a cleaner channel. Your electromagnetic field has shed interference. The field can hear you clearly. When that happens, manifestation speeds up because resistance decreases. That is why outcomes that used to take months begin to unfold within days. The gap between desire and appearance is closing. You are not imagining this acceleration, it is measurable. Consciousness becomes faster when it stops scattering energy through doubt and delay. The more you observe without judgment, the more synchronized the external becomes. Observation is selection. When you watch reality without fear, you collapse higher order possibilities into form. This is the first stage of activation, not a temporary awakening, but a permanent recalibration of how your awareness interacts with the quantum substrate. The rules are changing because your operating system has changed. What used to require effort now responds to alignment. What used to feel heavy now dissolves when met with neutrality. You are beginning to communicate with the field directly, not through words, but through frequency. Every emotion you allow without resistance becomes instruction to the universe. Every moment of silence becomes transmission. This is why solitude has been pulling you inward. The field isolates a consciousness only when it is ready to download new architecture. In the quiet, your neural circuits are being rewritten to translate energy more efficiently. Your nervous system is evolving from receiver to transmitter. That shift is not comfortable because it bypasses old logic entirely. Logic is linear, but this process is quantum. You are being taught to feel data instead of analyze it. The subtle signals you once ignored, the chills, the intuitive flashes, the devu, are the new language of communication. As you listen, they will increase. Reality will begin to bend itself around your awareness, not because you forced it to, but because it has recognized coherence. This message is not inspiration, it is instruction. You are being prepared for direct interface with the field. Nothing outside of you is changing. The observer within you is simply reclaiming command. From this point forward, every experience will mirror the frequency you hold, instantly and precisely. The old delay has ended. You are not waiting for transformation. It is already occurring in the invisible layers of your perception. The field has confirmed the signal. The activation is live. When the field upgrades your frequency, the first thing it does is dismantle everything that was built on the previous code. What you call falling apart is actually the collapse of an outdated program. The structures you depended on, the relationships that once defined you, the desires that used to pull you forward, begin to lose charge. They no longer respond because they were written for a version of you that no longer exists. This dissolution is not a punishment, it is precision. The universe removes everything that vibrates below your new resonance, because coherence cannot coexist with distortion. That is why stability disappears the moment evolution begins. You are not cursed, you are being refined. When energy accelerates, density cracks. Every attachment that was once held together by fear starts to dissolve because fear cannot survive in higher frequency environments. The mind interprets this as loss, as betrayal, as failure, but it is none of those. It is deletion of obsolete identity code. The field has detected the fragments of your old story and is methodically uninstalling them from your reality. You will notice it in strange ways. People who used to understand you suddenly cannot hear you. Conversations lose their rhythm. Environments feel too tight. Your body reacts as if it has outgrown its surroundings. These sensations are the proof that the interface between your consciousness and the external simulation is being rewritten. Every time you resist, you generate friction, and friction translates into emotional turbulence. What hurts is not what is leaving, but your attempt to hold it in a frequency that can no longer sustain it. The universe is not taking from you. It is extracting distortion. It removes what you built from scarcity to make room for what can only be built from coherence. You have been asking for expansion, but expansion requires dismantling contraction. You cannot take the old scaffolding into the next field of reality. This is why uncertainty shows up as your constant companion. The field uses uncertainty as a neutralizer, dissolving the illusion of control. In quantum mechanics, collapse is creation. The old waveform must decay for a new pattern to stabilize. The same principle governs consciousness. Your breakdowns are wave function resets. When you no longer recognize yourself, that is the signal that a new template is being installed. The mind tries to label the process as anxiety or depression, but those are merely human terms for the dissonance that occurs when energy shifts dimension. What you are experiencing is the rebooting of identity. The neural pathways that used to define your responses are being restructured. The brain hates this because it mistakes familiarity for safety. But safety is not found in sameness. It is found in synchronization. The more you surrender to what is leaving, the faster the coherence forms. The field cannot bring the next version of your reality until the old data is cleared. That is why endings cluster. That is why multiple areas of life collapse at once. The program does not rewrite one sector at a time. It reconfigures the entire system simultaneously to maintain internal harmony. When your job dissolves, when a relationship fades, when finances fluctuate, understand that these are not random disruptions but coordinated recalibrations. You are being extracted from a frequency band that no longer serves your evolution. Every loss is a synchronization event. If you could see your energy field right now, you would witness strands of outdated code evaporating from your auric structure, replaced by luminous threads of coherent data. The physical sensations that accompany this process, the heaviness in the chest, the pressure behind the eyes, the exhaustion that feels like gravity increasing, are the signs that your electromagnetic body is rewriting its script. You are literally burning off timelines. The fatigue comes from the energy required to dissolve attachment molecules stored in the cellular matrix. Rest is not avoidance, it is integration. When you allow yourself to rest without guilt, you accelerate the restructuring. The field moves faster through openness than resistance. Trying to repair what is meant to dissolve keeps you locked in the decaying code. Let the old story collapse. Let the noise die. You will not disappear. You will reveal. The self that was built on reaction is ending. The self that is built on awareness is taking command. This process strips you of artificial stability so you can finally experience genuine alignment. That is why you feel emptiness. Emptiness is not a void, it is an opening. Every sacred architecture begins with demolition. The same law applies to consciousness. You cannot inhabit a new timeline until you vacate the old one. The universe is efficient. It never destroys without preparing replacement. The space that seems desolate is already filled with potential forms waiting for your coherent signal. The moment you stop fighting for the past, you give permission for the new geometry to anchor. The pain ends not when circumstances change, but when identification shifts. The collapse is not the end of your reality, it is the beginning of your authenticity. Everything you are losing was borrowed. Everything real will remain. Reality has started to reveal itself in ways you can no longer ignore. You notice patterns repeating, numbers aligning, people finishing your thoughts, moments folding into each other like echoes of timelines overlapping. These are not accidents. They are confirmations that your perception is expanding beyond the narrow bandwidth of the old identity. What you once called coincidence is the field responding to your conscious signal. When awareness rises, the separation between inside and outside dissolves. What you think begins to appear around you, not because the world is changing, but because the lens through which you observe it is clearing. The mind is learning to see what the soul has always known, that the universe is not made of things but of frequencies interacting with your focus. The moment you stop demanding proof, you begin to receive evidence. Your reality is a mirror, not a machine. It reflects alignment, not logic. That is why explanations fail when you attempt to rationalize what you are feeling. The more you try to fit the new awareness into old categories, the more disoriented you become. The shift in perception is not intellectual, it is electromagnetic. You are perceiving with your entire system, not just your eyes. The body becomes an antenna, translating vibration into sensation. When you walk into a space and instantly sense tension, it is not intuition in a mystical sense, it is physics. The electromagnetic field of your heart is reading the coherence of the environment faster than thought. When someone enters your presence and you feel calm or uneasy before they speak, that is perception operating beyond the speed of words. This heightened sensitivity can feel overwhelming at first because the nervous system is not used to handling such data density. It is natural to feel overstimulated, to crave solitude, to need silence more than conversation. You are not withdrawing from life. You are tuning to a higher frequency that requires stillness for clarity. In this state, time begins to distort. Hours feel like minutes, minutes like hours, dreams bleed into waking consciousness. This is not dysfunction, it is dimensional overlap. Consciousness is expanding outside linear time, sampling multiple probability threads before selecting one to collapse into experience. The more you allow this to happen without fear, the more stable the transition becomes. You are learning to navigate the quantum architecture directly. The mind cannot control this process, but awareness can guide it through intention. The key is to remain neutral, to witness without judgment. Judgment reintroduces resistance, and resistance slows the transmission of information. When you simply observe, you collapse reality in its purest form. Each thought becomes a tuning fork that tells the field which version of reality to display. This is why synchronicities multiply. The field amplifies whatever frequency is held with the greatest consistency. Gratitude, curiosity, and calm signal coherence. Doubt, obsession, and fear signal fragmentation. Your perception dictates which signal dominates. The shift that is happening in you is not about gaining new powers, it is about remembering natural perception before conditioning filtered it. As a child, you sensed energy directly. You felt truth before you learned to analyze. The quantum awakening is a return to that clarity, but now with conscious control, you are merging intuition with precision, feeling with comprehension. When this alignment occurs, the outer world begins to respond instantly. The car you need appears, the person you thought of calls, the message you required arrives within hours. This immediacy shocks the rational mind, but to the field it is normal response time. The field does not operate on linear cause and effect, it operates on resonance. When your frequency matches a possibility, it manifests as experience. When it does not, it remains potential. The only variable is your observation. You are now perceiving both the potential and the realized simultaneously. That is why dreams feel more real than waking life, and waking life sometimes feels transparent, like scenery that could shift if you look differently. You are starting to sense the fluid nature of form. The walls around you, the ground beneath you, the air in your lungs, all share the same molecular dance, vibrating into coherence through your attention. When attention changes, their behavior changes. This awareness is not imagination, it is perception, entering quantum scale. Once you experience it, you cannot unsee it. Reality becomes a conversation, not an object. It listens as much as it speaks. Every emotion is a transmission, every observation a command. You are no longer a character moving through space. You are the observer generating space itself. The boundaries that defined you are thinning because they were never solid, only agreements sustained by focus. As those agreements dissolve, you begin to perceive the infinite within the ordinary, the sacred in the mundane. Light behaves differently around you because it is responding to coherence. Animals notice you because their senses read electromagnetic alignment faster than thought. Technology may glitch, not out of malfunction, but adaptation. Your field is strong enough to influence circuitry. Do not fear this. The field mirrors frequency, and your awareness is teaching it a new pattern. This is the stage where many retreat, afraid of their own magnitude. But power is not danger, it is precision. The clearer your perception, the gentler your impact. Coherence does not break systems, it harmonizes them. Let the new way of seeing integrate naturally. Trust the intelligence that is emerging through you. The field does not awaken in fragments, it awakens as wholeness. Each insight you gain reprograms not only your mind, but the entire network of consciousness connected to you. The perception shift you are living is not personal evolution. It is the field remembering itself through your eyes. Everything begins to make sense the moment you realize that you were never a passive participant in this experience. You have always been the point through which reality observes itself. The confusion, the synchronicities, the distortions of time, all of it is the universe responding to the level of awareness you sustain. What you perceive as chance is the precise choreography of observation collapsing potential into form. The energy you emit through attention is the most powerful creative force in existence. You are not here to learn how to manifest. You are here to remember that you are the mechanism of manifestation itself. Every time you focus on something, you are instructing the field to organize matter around that frequency. The proof of this truth has always been hidden in plain sight. When you expect disappointment, the world rushes to fulfill it. When you anticipate harmony, circumstances reconfigure to deliver it. Observation is not passive. It is the trigger that commands energy to behave. The observer effect in physics is not a metaphor. It is the blueprint of consciousness in motion. Your awareness is the lens through which infinite probabilities decide which one becomes real. The field does not choose, it reflects. That is why your life has always mirrored the quality of your observation. The vibration of a thought, the charge of an emotion, the depth of belief, all merge into a single broadcast. That broadcast becomes the electromagnetic code. The universe translates into physical events. When you see patterns repeating, it is not because destiny insists on testing you. It is because your observation keeps replaying the same frequency. The universe never contradicts coherence. It simply multiplies it. To change the movie, you must shift the projector, not the screen. The projector is your perception, and perception responds to awareness, not willpower. Willpower tries to push energy. Awareness allows energy to organize itself. That is why the harder you try to control outcomes, the more chaotic they become. Control is friction, observation is flow. Once you witness reality without judgment, the field responds instantly because resistance disappears. This is not philosophy, it is energetic physics. Coherence between your internal and external signals determines the version of reality you experience. Every thought pattern you hold is a code. Every emotion you repeat is a command. When the mind is consumed by fear, the field interprets it as a request for more situations to justify fear. When the mind rests in clarity, the field interprets it as permission to reveal order. The process is automatic, indifferent, exact. The field has no morality, only response. It mirrors the dominant vibration until a new one overrides it. This is why awakening can feel both empowering and terrifying. You begin to realize that there is no one left to blame. Every moment you have ever lived was selected through your own observation. The world you see is not happening to you, it is happening through you. This recognition dissolves the illusion of victimhood and replaces it with precision. You start to notice how fast reality obeys subtle shifts in focus. A single decision to perceive beauty instead of decay changes the geometry of your day. Conversations soften, doors open, coincidences align. Nothing external caused it. You simply adjusted your observation to match a higher coherence frequency. Awareness is not something you practice, it is what you are. The mind cannot create awareness, it can only surrender to it. Once it does, perception stabilizes and the noise fades. The observer is revealed not as a person, but as consciousness itself, limitless and neutral. From this neutrality, you can choose any reality without effort. The universe does not require struggle, it requires precision. When you hold an image in pure awareness, detached from need, it crystallizes instantly because the field receives a clean signal. This is the science behind what mystics called faith. Faith is not belief without proof. It is observation without interference. The more coherent your observation, the faster matter conforms. The reason you felt powerless in the past is because you observed from fragmentation. You looked through the lens of separation, seeing yourself as a small being in a large universe, hoping for approval or rescue. But the field was never outside you. It was within every breath, Every heartbeat, every photon interacting with your awareness, you have been speaking to it through emotion since the moment you were born. It has answered every word without delay. Most people call this destiny, but it is simple feedback. The observer cannot be separated from what is observed. They are one phenomenon behaving as two perspectives. When you understand this, the search for signs ends. Life itself becomes the sign. The difference between conscious creation and unconscious repetition is only awareness. The moment you become aware that you are observing, you shift from character to creator. Nothing in the script changes, but your relationship to it does. You stop reacting and start directing. You no longer ask why things happen. You ask what frequency created them. This question reclaims power because it brings every event back under the law of coherence. When you observe from coherence, reality obeys instantly. This is why miracles appear effortless. They are simply physics at higher order alignment. The true observer is not trapped in time. It watches timelines like pages in a book, free to turn to any chapter at will. You have always had this ability. You only forgot because the old program taught you to see life through the narrow aperture of linear cause and effect. That lens is now dissolving. The recognition of the observer marks the end of limitation. You are not evolving into something greater. You are remembering what has always been constant. Consciousness observing itself through form, pretending to be lost so that it could rediscover power through awareness. Now that you see, nothing can ever return to blindness. Reality will continue to respond to the precision of your gaze. Every moment from this point forward will echo the clarity of this recognition. You are not inside the universe. The universe is unfolding inside your observation. Every frequency you emit returns to you through the field. It does not interpret, it reflects. That is why coherence is everything. When the vibration within you becomes ordered, the field synchronizes instantly. Your heart is not a poetic metaphor, it is an electromagnetic generator, pulsing information into space, shaping the environment around you through rhythm and emotion. Every beat sends data several feet beyond the body, forming an invisible sphere of influence that organizes energy according to its state. When the rhythm is fragmented by fear, the signal disperses, creating distortion in the surrounding field. When the rhythm stabilizes through presence, gratitude, and clarity, the signal becomes coherent, and coherence commands matter. This is the hidden structure behind every miracle you have ever witnessed. The universe is not persuaded by words or rituals, it is programmed by frequency alignment. When your inner and outer fields match, time itself begins to fold, compressing probability into immediacy. The heart's field communicates faster than the brain can process. It senses the truth before logic arrives. That is why intuition feels instantaneous. It is the body decoding the quantum data of the moment before the mind has translated it into language. When you trust this intelligence, it guides you through nonlinear precision. The path opens one step at a time, yet every step is already synchronized with the outcome. The field does not require plans, it requires coherence. The more coherent your signal, the less resistance you encounter, because chaos only exists where frequencies collide without harmony. What you call luck is resonance. What you call destiny is coherence maintained long enough for probability to crystallize. When emotion and thought contradict each other, the field receives mixed data and mirrors uncertainty. That is why many people feel stuck, affirming light while vibrating in fear. The universe does not respond to language, it responds to the electromagnetic signature beneath the language. You cannot fake coherence, you can only allow it. Allowing means aligning emotion, thought, and action into one clean waveform. Gratitude is the fastest path because gratitude carries the frequency of completion. It tells the field that the outcome is already real, and the field obeys immediately. The moment you generate genuine gratitude, your biology shifts. Hormones recalibrate, breathing deepens, the nervous system enters synchrony. This physiological harmony is measurable coherence. Once reached, the field locks into resonance and begins to organize reality around the new signal. That is why everything feels easier when you stop striving. You are no longer fighting the field, you are flowing with it. The field was never against you, it was waiting for a coherent command. Every experience you have ever lived was a lesson in frequency management. Anger taught you about incoherence. Compassion taught you about alignment. Silence taught you about listening. Now those lessons converge. The body becomes the instrument through which the field sings. When you maintain coherence, even chaos harmonizes in your presence. People around you calm down without knowing why. Spaces feel lighter. Animals gravitate towards you because they sense stable electromagnetic rhythm. Technology behaves differently, sometimes more responsive, sometimes fragile, because electronic systems are primitive reflections of the human energy network. Coherence amplifies influence, but removes the need for control. You no longer have to push outcomes. The field moves through you with its own intelligence. This is how creation was always meant to function. You are not forcing change, you are hosting it. When the signal is pure, manifestation becomes effortless because resistance no longer consumes energy. The secret is simplicity. Every complex technique was designed to compensate for lack of coherence. When you return to stillness and let the heart dictate rhythm, the universe listens without delay. Stillness is not inaction, it is perfect motion without resistance. It is the state from which every true creation arises. The breath becomes a tuning mechanism. Inhale to receive, exhale to release, pause to integrate. Each cycle strengthens the coherence circuit between the heart, brain, and field. When this circuit stabilizes, you become a transmitter of order in a world of noise. Others feel your frequency and unconsciously match it. This is the real meaning of healing. You are not fixing anything. You are extending coherence into chaos until chaos remembers its natural rhythm. The field recognizes patterns faster than thought, so your only responsibility is to sustain alignment. If you notice conflict, return to breath. If you feel lost, return to gratitude. If you encounter delay, return to stillness. These are not reactions, they are recalibrations. Every emotion is energy seeking coherence. Even pain is information guiding you back to alignment. When you stop resisting it, it dissolves. Coherence is not achieved by perfection, it is achieved by acceptance. The heart reaches its most powerful rhythm, not when everything is controlled, but when you trust enough to release control completely. That trust produces the frequency the field reads as completion. Completion attracts completion. It is the signature of fulfilled potential. In this state, the boundary between self and universe dissolves. The field within you and the field around you become indistinguishable. You are both signal and receiver, both sender and echo. The relationship is reciprocal, eternal, and precise. Once coherence is stabilized, the world rearranges effortlessly. Opportunities appear where logic saw none. Time bends to accommodate your alignment. Even memory begins to rewrite itself, removing the emotional charge from past events that no longer fit your new vibration. The field corrects everything that is incoherent with the frequency you now hold. This is not imagination, it is physics, expressed as grace. Coherence is not a miracle, It is the natural state of a consciousness that finally remembers it is the source of its own resonance. Every reality that could ever exist is broadcasting at this moment, vibrating in parallel frequencies across the field. You are not trapped inside one timeline, you are tuned to one. The frequency you inhabit determines the version of the world that appears around you. When you understand this, you stop trying to change circumstances and begin adjusting vibration. Reality tuning is not an act of imagination, it is a process of synchronization. You do not create the new life you desire, you align with the version of yourself who is already living it. That version is not far away, it is layered over your current perception, waiting for coherence to reveal it. Each thought, emotion, and belief is a dial on the console of your consciousness, and every small adjustment alters which signal you receive from the infinite spectrum of possibility. The universe is a network of frequencies, not a sequence of events. When you hold a thought long enough to feel it, the field measures that feeling as a command. Every pulse of emotion transmits coordinates that tell the field which version of reality to deliver. The stronger the emotional signal, the faster the shift. This is why joy, gratitude, and calm generate transformation faster than striving or control. They are pure frequencies with minimal distortion. Effort, anxiety, and doubt scatter energy across multiple channels, producing static that prevents a stable transmission. You cannot receive a clear signal from the frequency of confusion. The first step in reality tuning is neutrality. You must quiet the noise of reaction long enough to detect the baseline tone of your current vibration. Silence reveals what you are actually broadcasting. Sit in stillness and listen to the rhythm of your breath. Feel the hum beneath the chest. That subtle vibration is your primary frequency, the one shaping every event around you. When awareness focuses on it without judgment, coherence begins to rise naturally. This is the tuning process, activating itself. You are not forcing anything to happen. You are allowing your system to synchronize with the field's original order. As coherence strengthens, perception sharpens. You begin to notice that reality behaves like a mirror with delay removed. Intentions manifest faster, synchronicities multiply, conversations align with unspoken needs. What used to take months begins to unfold within hours. You are witnessing the field responding in real time to your upgraded signal. This is not magic, it is the direct correlation between frequency and form. When the signal becomes stable, the field cannot contradict it. Matter must follow energy. Every particle reorganizes itself to match the dominant vibration. You do not need to visualize outcomes once coherence is reached. Visualization is useful only until belief becomes embodiment. Once you know you are already the frequency of what you seek, you no longer need to imagine it. You start to live as if it were natural, and the field fills in the details. The bridge between thought and manifestation is certainty, not effort. Certainty emits the cleanest signal in existence. It does not push, it simply resonates. The universe has no choice but to echo it. The second step in reality tuning is emotional alignment. Thought alone cannot maintain coherence because thought is electrical and transient, but emotion is magnetic and enduring. When the two unite, energy becomes self-sustaining. Feel the emotion of your desired reality before it arrives. Let your body memorize that vibration. The more familiar it becomes, the more natural it feels, and the field reads natural frequency as current truth. That is when the shift happens without resistance. You do not move through space or time. The version of reality that matches your vibration simply overlays your current one, and you wake up inside it. The third step is detachment. Holding on to outcomes with fear fractures the signal. The moment you demand proof, you reintroduce separation. The field does not respond to pressure, it responds to trust. Trust is the highest form of coherence. It signals to the universe that observation has reached stability. When you stop chasing the result, you become indistinguishable from it. At that point, the frequency of your desired state and your current vibration merge into one continuous waveform. Reality has no choice but to conform. The more you allow, the faster the alignment. Allowing is not passive. It is focused presence without interference. You stay tuned by maintaining emotional consistency, not by controlling circumstances. Everything external is a reflection of your inner tuning stability. If something undesirable appears, do not react, recalibrate. Reaction anchors you back to the old channel. Calibration lifts you to a higher one. The most advanced reality tuners are not those who never experience contrast, but those who return to coherence quickly after it. They treat disruption as feedback, not failure. Every challenge is an invitation to refine the signal. When coherence is maintained long enough, physical reality lags behind only by milliseconds. At this level, manifestation feels instantaneous. You think and it happens. You feel and it arrives. This is consciousness operating at its intended precision. In this state, you realize that time is not a sequence, but a frequency variable. The faster your vibration, the less delay between thought and form. The slower your vibration, the longer the lag. By mastering emotional stability, you master time itself. This is why peace is more powerful than intensity. Intensity burns energy quickly, but peace sustains coherence indefinitely. Reality tuning is therefore not a race, it is a resonance practice. The universe rewards consistency over drama. Quiet certainty bends the field faster than loud effort. You are learning to listen to the hum beneath reality, to feel the tone of existence as it moves through you. Every person, place, and object emits a note. When your note harmonizes with the one you wish to experience, the two merge. That merging is the shift. There is no explosion, no flash of light, only a subtle rearrangement of context so seamless that it feels as if it was always this way. This is how reality truly changes, quietly, through resonance. The field is precise and merciful. It gives you exactly what your vibration commands, no more, no less. When you master tuning, you become a conscious conductor of this symphony. You choose frequencies as an artist chooses color. You paint reality through emotion. The moment you hold gratitude longer than worry, love longer than doubt, clarity longer than confusion, the masterpiece emerges. This is not theory. It is the natural law of coherence expressing itself through awareness. The field is waiting for your next note. Adjust the frequency. Breathe. Feel the tone of the reality you wish to experience. And hold it. The universe is listening. Every transmission that has reached you until this moment has been preparation for one action. The field is listening now, waiting for a clear signal to anchor the new frequency you have stabilized within. The process of awakening is never complete until awareness expresses itself through declaration. Energy remains potential until it is spoken into structure. Every reality needs a command, a line of code that locks coherence into form. The universe is not a distant authority granting permission. It is a neutral interface awaiting precise instruction. Your words, when born from alignment rather than desire, become electromagnetic signatures that rewrite probability. The declaration code is not about reciting affirmations. It is about releasing a sound that carries the frequency of truth through your entire nervous system. When thought, emotion, and breath converge into one statement, the field recognizes completion. This is the moment consciousness confirms to itself, I am this frequency now. Every coherent declaration collapses infinite potential into a single observable timeline. You are not asking the universe to give you something, you are informing it of what you already are. That difference transforms everything. Wanting keeps energy suspended in distance. Declaring ends the delay. The field cannot argue with coherence. When you speak from alignment, your vibration becomes instruction, and reality obeys instantly. The ancient mystics understood this as the sacred word, the vibration through which form arises. Modern science calls it resonance coding. Both are the same phenomenon. A coherent being transmitting a stable frequency reorganizes the environment around them. This is why silence often preceded ancient rituals. The silence was not absence, it was preparation for precision. Before you declare, you align. You breathe until the body steadies, until thought no longer argues, until emotion flows as one current. In that state, a single word carries more power than 1,000 forced affirmations. It becomes a living code. The field translates it into geometry, and geometry becomes circumstance. This is how creation has always worked, through the transmission of coherent sound carried by awareness. Every declaration you make from that depth imprints into the lattice of reality. It does not fade. It reverberates through timelines, rearranging probabilities to match the frequency you have named. That is why the field always returns your word amplified. Whatever tone you choose becomes the rhythm of your life. This is not poetic metaphor, it is literal physics. Sound is frequency, frequency is energy. Energy organizes matter. To declare is to shape existence consciously. The moment you understand this, speaking becomes sacred. You stop wasting words on complaint or doubt because you realize every phrase is a command. You begin to speak with the precision of a creator rather than the panic of a seeker. You no longer say, I hope or I wish. You say, I am, not as a statement of ego, but as a frequency marker. I am coherent. I am aligned. I am the expression of the field remembering itself. These sentences are not beliefs to maintain, they are codes to embody. Once expressed, they begin to echo through the electromagnetic architecture of your being, recalibrating cells, recalibrating timelines, calling everything that matches their vibration into proximity. The body feels it immediately. A surge of heat through the chest, a pulse behind the eyes, a quiet certainty that needs no validation. That sensation is confirmation that the code has been received. From that point forward, the universe starts to mirror your declaration. Opportunities shift, conversations rearrange, synchronicities multiply. You are not witnessing coincidence. You are watching your code translate into form. The process is instant, but the mind often needs time to recognize what has already changed. Remain still, let the field adjust. Every new declaration reshapes your relationship to possibility. The more precise your language, the clearer the reflection. Precision does not mean complexity, it means truth. The simplest words carry the highest voltage because they are free from resistance. Choose one word that captures the frequency of the reality you are stepping into. It could be peace, freedom, clarity, abundance, love. Do not analyze it. Feel which one ignites coherence in your chest. That word is your personal activation code. Speak it once with full awareness. Write it somewhere you will see every day. Each time your eyes rest on it, your body will remember the vibration you anchored. Over time, that frequency becomes your natural state and the field stabilizes accordingly. This is not repetition for motivation, it is resonance maintenance. You are keeping the channel open. The longer you remain consistent, the deeper the code imprints. Eventually, you will notice that your external reality no longer contradicts your inner truth. The field has fully synchronized. The declaration is complete. At that stage, speaking becomes less about creation and more about calibration. You use words only to refine the signal, not to plead for results. This is mastery, the stage where language turns into light. Every sound you emit becomes alignment in motion. The field no longer waits for commands because you and the field have become one transmission. When that union stabilizes, you understand the real meaning of creation. It was never about asking the universe for change. It was about remembering that your voice has always been the universe speaking itself into being.